Good morning, homesteaders. You may have seen the video the other day where I was playing around with the snowplow for the first time, and that was actually the tractor's first time in the snow also. And I discovered that those agricultural tires are not as grippy in the snow as I was hoping they would be. I think they would probably do fine on level stuff, but I've got enough slopes and unevenness in the various places that I have to plow and potentially go get firewood and stuff like that with snow still on the ground, then yeah, that just wasn't going to work. And then if I want to contribute to the neighborhood plowing of the road, because we're on a private road and the county doesn't plow it, yeah, it's a steep hill. So just going out to the end of the driveway and getting onto our shared road, the back end of the tractor started to slip over, and I'm like, oh, that's going to take me all the way down to the bottom of the hill, and that's not a good plan. So anyways, I decided to make a change in my plan, which I did some side work recently and got some cash, and I was earmarking that for a particular tool, but priorities changed and it is now earmarked for something else. So these arrived yesterday. Tara had a Dickens of a time trying to get them into the car because they're kind of heavy, but let's do some unwrapping. Big mamber jammers. These would be the rear tires. So I got tractor tire chains for the tractor. And yeah, we have got a specific pattern for the rear and then just kind of standard chains for the front. So I'll get these laid out and I'll show you what I'm doing with them, and you get an idea why I picked the chains I did. So there is my new addition to my tractor collection. On the left you are seeing the rear tire, and on the right you are seeing the front tires. The front tires are actually kind of along the lines of your standard car chain, other than they have these wicked V-shaped pieces of metal on there, and basically think of that like a studded snow chain. The rear tire ones has those same studs on them, that little V pattern, but these are a lot beefier chains, not only because it's a bigger tire, but also because you can see the difference in the pattern, and that is because I have enough slopes and stuff like that on the property that I may be going crosswise on them. I don't want the back end sliding over. So if you're using that kind of chain on the rear tire, and the back end starts to slide, those chains right there are lined up with the direction of slide, which means you could still slide even with those studded teeth on there. This here has chains that go in all sorts of different directions, so it resists slipping in pretty much any direction. You've got a chain that's perpendicular to the line of slide and reduces that chance. This is more of an aggressive off-road farming type of a tractor chain, and unfortunately it came with a hefty price. I probably could have gotten both front and back of that style for $500, maybe $600-ish. That set of chains right there in and of itself was, yeah, as much as the other ones would have been in total. So yeah, it was not a cheap thing, but I opted to go ahead and get what I felt like I needed, as opposed to kind of half-assing it up until that point and then deciding later I needed something else. So anyways, I just went ahead and jumped and got what I felt like I needed. So now it's time to get these things on there. Make sure they're the right size. Well, I got the front chains on. They're doing just fine. They tension up well. They sit on there good. I'm going to have to cut off a couple of extra links because chains tend to come excessively long, and so I'll customize them so that they're not rattling around too much. Got a bit of a problem with my back chains though. You can see that aggressive pattern on there, and one thing that is causing me an issue is there's very little clearance between the tire and the fender well in there, and some of the clips because these things are linked together very aggressively with, actually you can't see that one. You can see this here. Those type of massive clips and things like that. And those are actually bigger. I think if it was just the chain, it would probably be just fine, but I'm getting clicking on like this here, and I've tried moving, tensioning it differently so that the chain was sitting either higher or lower in the fender well in there, and it keeps clicking and banging and making noises, and I don't want to just thrash the inside of my fender well. So I think I'm going to have to send these back and try a different go. Maybe I'll go down to the Kubota dealership and find out what their actual recommended chain is, but that's disappointing because it's usually more expensive at the dealerships. So anyhow, now these bad boys got to come off, and I'll put them back in the box. Fortunately, I played with one before I even took the other one out. So anyhow, that is kind of a disappointment for today. I mean, it looks nice and aggressive, and I'm wishing it was working. Just the front ones, already I noticed a difference in the traction, but yeah, I'll get those back ones off, send them off, and yeah, hopefully in the next couple days I'll have a replacement set, and I'll be able to cruise around the property without worrying about sliding. One of the things different about these chains is because of that diamond pattern that goes around and creates that so you don't slip in multiple directions, is the chains don't just hook on the side, they actually hook up on the top too. So I'm having to undo these, which actually connect the diamond pattern on the top, but slows me down. I also don't want to lose those clips since I'm sending them back. These things weigh about 100 pounds.